to the Command Center. What's going on, y'all? See what it is. Another episode of Matthew's Retro. You understand me? We're going to be taking a look at that and talking about that Motorstorm for the PS3 tonight. And here we go with Matthew's himself, and he's feeling the groove tonight. What's up, Mr. Matthew? What's up?
Nothing much at all. Tonight, we have Motorstorm for the PS3 on Matthew's Retro Alley.
Oh my God.
Episode 5, a Command Center production.
Okay,
now,
man.
I know what everybody's thinking. I think I remember Motorstorm. It came out in like 2006, 2007, and you're right. But 2006 and 2007 was 19 and 18 years ago, respectively. You're old.
I'm old, man. I'm old.
And it's now retro in my book.
Okay.
If anyone remembers Motorstorm, well, if anyone was alive, like if you were 10 or 11 around, like me, around 2006, 2007, you remember all the hype leading up to the PS3's launch.
Man.
You remember the tech demos, and boy, was Motorstorm, it was a game and tech demo in one. It was the shining star, well, I'm not going to say shining star, it was the muddy star of Sony's lineup. It was fire brought down to mortals. Wrought in dust and mud. Sony, the first trailer was at E3 2005, and it was cinema. And they didn't quite reach the level of cinema with the tech that it was pre-rendered, so they didn't quite reach that level of technical graphical capability. But the final product reached pretty darn close. I remember the first time that I read about the demo. I didn't actually watch. I read about the demo in I believe PlayStation Monthly. I think.
Man. Yeah, them PlayStation magazines.
The magazines. Man. Yes, I love those. the beautiful print.
Yeah, they don't do that
they're
no
beautiful.
more.
I love looking
with the
at
demo CD.
Rereading them. And then I kept track of it all the way through 2006. Little pieces of information were being brought out about all the different PS3 launch titles. Motorstorm was not going to be a launch title. It came out a little bit later. PS3 launched November 17, 2006. I remember that. I stayed up. I watched the launch of the console. I watched that.
Me too.
I watched its successes and failures, and a month later, Motorstorm came out in Japan in December 2006.
Crazy.
But it didn't have the online play that the North American and European versions would eventually have. It got that in the June of the next year.
Oh.
But it launched in the other regions, North America and Europe,
with
in
online
March of 2007.
Play, huh?
Yeah, with online.
Oh my God, I didn't know that, man.
It was developed by, unfortunately, a now dissolved studio. Called Evolution Studios. It's a British game developer. They start out making the World Rally Championship Series for PlayStation 2. I think I rented one of those games. I was more of an ATV Off-Road Fury person, and I had just gotten a four-wheeler too, so being an ATV Off-Road Fury fan and having a four-wheeler, I was all about off-roading, and Motorstorm was like my dream come true. I played the demo in Best Buy, the kiosk where you would
and they had the 6-axis controller. Oh, did they?
And everybody made fun of the 6-axis controller, but I mean that was the time when motion controls were the big hot new thing. I mean the 6-axis was coming out. The 6-axis came out for the PS3. You had the Wii remote for the Wii.
Oh yeah.
And then just that next summer, the iPhone came out with its gyroscope.
So man, that 6-axis controller though, I liked it.
It was really light, admittedly, and they replaced it a couple years later with the DualShock 3. But I remember I used to have the 6-axis controller. That's what came. I splurged a little bit in July of, I believe, July 30th or 31st of 2007. I begged my parents, and they eventually got me a PlayStation 3 60 gigabyte edition, $600. $600 smackaroos.
Man. That thing was expensive when released, man. It was expensive.
And Sony was still losing money on it.
I know.
I think it was costing them about $1,000 to make each one.
I heard about that.
They were losing tons of money.
They didn't care though.
But games like Motorstorm felt like it was worth it when you saw them. there were 4 Motorstorm games. Not everybody remembers that there was Motorstorm, there was Motorstorm Pacific Rift, there was Motorstorm Apocalypse, there was Motorstorm RC. Those are the 4 that they developed. And then there was one for the PSP that was ported to PlayStation 2 called Arctic Edge. But Evolution Studios didn't make that one.
Oh, they didn't make that one. So it's one they did not. So Evolution
Most of the time when they for the Ratchet and Clank series, for Daxter and other IPs of Sony, or very close IPs, maybe not owned, they usually offload them to a lesser studio. Now I believe the studio they offloaded to was a division, like a subdivision of Evolution Studios. So it's kind of kept in house, but not really like another city.
Let me ask you this: Did they release that version in the United States?
Yeah. All the Motorstorm games were released. Okay. And then finally, I don't know if anybody remembers Drive Club for PS4.
Oh my God! What?
You remember Drive Club?
Yeah, okay, man, so I like that game.
It got middling reviews, but everybody kind of liked. I mean, it's a pretty good game.
As a matter of fact, I got the PlayStation VR version of that game. Yeah.
Okay, so that was the last game by Evolution Studios.
Was it?
Before they were dissolved.
Okay, all right. That was a good game.
But I think Motorstorm was their masterpiece. This is the one I played the most. When I've never seen a game use AI and terrain deformation in an off-roading game like that. I mean, the AI.
Oh yeah, I was looking at that. I'm like, oh my God, this is accurate.
You when the map starts out. Just fine, and then once the big rigs and stuff go through it, then you start getting in the mud, and it actually affects the terrain actually changes, and it actually affects the gameplay.
You can feel it,
and the AI, if you pass them, they'll try to hunt you down. Heck, I should mention what kind of vehicles you can ride. You can ride dirt bikes, you can ride ATVs, you can drive buggies, you can drive rally cars, you can drive racing trucks, you can drive mud pluggers. You can drive big rigs. I'm trying to remember if I'm forgetting anything.
I seen the buggies with the rats on them.
Yeah.
Man, it looked like Mad Max or something. I thought somebody,
And if you're driving an ATV or a bike, you can actually punch other bikers, like just.
Man, boom. AKA road rash.
Yeah. That's not. People are dying in this game in slow motion with the slow motion camera. What I like about the first game the most. It's not a mythical environment. All the other games, they're not real places.
They're not real places.
But this one takes place in Monument Valley, Arizona, which is a national park that is also sacred to the Navajo people.
Oh my God!
Which means no off-roading, and let's keep it that way, folks. Let's respect nature and not tear up. One of the most pristine valleys that our country has.
So that's where they did the game. I mean, so that's where they got the game set in. Oh my God!
They went out there and took like photos and went on hikes and they.
So they're racing on sacred ground.
They're racing on sacred. The festival knows no bounds.
Oh my God!
In the later games, the festival goes to an untouched Pacific island. No, not untouched. There was a sugar plantation. But they go to a Pacific island, and then they go in after a natural disaster. They bring the festival in. These are people dedicated to the concept of racing, and they don't care where it happens.
Oh my God!
Sounds like there's some money behind it.
Yeah, there's a lot of money behind that there, man.
I would totally watch that.
Yeah, man, I remember that PlayStation. Them PlayStation magazines had them demo discs in it. I think one of my friends had that game on a demo disc, man. That Motorstorm. Because I didn't play that at first until I seen it on the PlayStation demo disc. I don't know which version of the game that was that he had on the PlayStation demo disc. But there is a PlayStation demo disc with that game on it. Yeah, you know what I mean? Out from the PlayStation magazine. Yeah. They unfortunately the internet wasn't as popular.
In fact, I think the final issue of the very first PlayStation magazine they brought it back as PS Mag or something like that.
Oh really?
Well, I think there was a PS Mag which was the unofficial PlayStation magazine, and then there was PlayStation the official magazine.
Yeah.
And the last issue of that reviewed Motorstorm, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah,
It had it on the front cover. I had the magazine. It had Motorstorm on the front cover, and it said last issue of PlayStation the official magazine. Back
you
in
know,
2007.
man, them magazines are worth money now, man.
I wish I hadn't given.
God.
Yeah. I wish I had recycled. But anyway, we're going to play Motorstorm tonight.
Okay.
And we are going to tear up a sacred valley.
A sacred valley. We don't supposed to be racing.
But we don't condone that behavior. I condemn. I disavow. I disavow.
So you disavow with this here, man.
Anyone who is going to national parks and tearing up the wilderness.
So
wildness. I'll remind people, wildness is the preservation of the world.
Okay. Dang it.
And like the game says, I want to take you on a roller coaster.
Hey, look, what particular version are we playing tonight, young man? Are we playing part 1, part 2,
We're playing the first game.
Oh, we're playing the first game. Oh my God!
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. So let me come around here and man, look. Let me tell you this right now. Yeah, we're gonna come back with my man, Mr. Matthew, and Matthew's Retro. You understand me? You did our video game historian here. He's gonna demonstrate just how you jump on them curves and turn. Yeah, we ride with him every bump. You understand me? So don't forget about our 500 subscriber giveaway. You understand me? In which we will be giving that PlayStation Portal device away with a $50 gift card, Metroid picture, and also I'm gonna be giving you that Street Fighter 6. Oh my God, yeah. We'll be right back. Holla!